Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the another video on Redux Toolkit with React on my YouTube channel. So in this video basically we are going to learn how we can perform all CRUD operation using JSON placeholder fake API with Redux Toolkit in our React application. As you know, Redux Toolkit is quite popular nowadays and people have started to use frequently, especially with the React library, because it's very simple to use and don't much code required to set up a store with the Redux Toolkit. And guys, you also don't have to create separate file for action type, reduction. Everything is managed in the single file. So for more detail, if you wanted to know about Redux Toolkit, so I have already created a couple of video on the Redux Toolkit. I will provide the playlist link in the description so you can get the basic of Redux Toolkit. Okay, but in this video we are going to learn how we can perform CRUD operation using create async thunk with JSON placeholder fake API in our React application. So guys, we are going to build this application in this video. So as you can see that we have a page here, home page, in which user can fetch the user post based on the ID. So if you give any random ID, it will fetch the data for this ID. So it will fetch the post for this ID. So if you click fetch user post, you will get the post, and this is the body and this is the title of this user ID 4, and we are getting this all data from this JSON placeholder fake API. So we are going to basically mimic all the CRUD operation with this JSON placeholder fake API. So we are going to use this API to perform the read operation. We are going to use this API to perform the create operation. We are going to use this API to perform the update operation, and at the last we are going to use this API to perform the delete operation. So as you know, this JSON placeholder doesn't maintain any kind of database. So whenever you make a delete request or a post request or a put request, it's not going to update in the database. Okay, so it doesn't maintain any kind of database behind the scene. And now if you click on delete, so this post will get deleted. So you can see that this post got deleted. So now let's perform the update operation. So let's fetch first user post. So I'm going to give the ID here 5, and if you click on edit button, so you can see that we are able to populate the existing body value of this post into the text area, and you can update this body. So if you just paste this one, and if you click on save, this data will get updated. So you can see that body got updated for this post for the user ID 5. But if you refresh this application, you will lose the data, because this JSON placeholder fake API doesn't maintain any kind of database behind the scene. Okay, so we have performed the update operation, and if you click on this create user post, so you can also create the post. So if you click on create post, you will navigate towards the create page. Okay, so we have a 2 input field, title and body. So let's give the title like Redux Toolkit, and let's paste this body. Okay, and if you click submit, a new user post will get created with the title Redux Toolkit and the body, that is understand Redux Toolkit using API, and we have got some random user ID which we are getting from this JSON placeholder fake API. So if you again refresh this application, you will lose this data, because again it's not storing in DB. So guys, we have performed all CRUD operation with this Redux Toolkit, and you can see the state as well. So as of now the state is empty because we don't have any data, and if you fetch some data, you can see that we have got this data. So we have this action type, and we have this state value. Okay, so we have post, loading false, error, edit and body. And if you delete, so likewise we will have a different action type for each operation, that is read, create, update and delete. So this is the application that we are going to work in this video, in which we will perform all CRUD operation using the JSON placeholder fake API with Redux Toolkit. Before we start working on this video, so in this video we are not going to write much code related to the UI part, because I have already provided you the starter application for the today video, so you can start writing the code. Because our main aim is to learn the concept of Redux Toolkit, how we can perform the asynchronous task with the help of Redux Toolkit using create async thunk. Because in Redux Toolkit, Redux thunk is included by default, allowing create async thunk to perform the asynchronous task. Okay, our main aim is to learn the concept of Redux Toolkit. So that's the reason I have provided you the starter application for the today video, so that you can start writing code with me, and I will explain more about this repository later. Okay, so guys, before we move on, if you wanted to get more videos on React and Redux concept, then please subscribe this channel and press the like button if you like this video. You can also follow me on Instagram, and you can also like my Facebook page as well. All social media link will be available in the description. So guys, let's start working on this application. So guys, you need this starter application in order to start working on the Redux Toolkit application with the API. So either you can make it clone this repository, or you can download this repository, so that you can start writing code with me. So guys, I hope you have cloned this repository. So I have already opened this repository in my Visual Studio Code. So you can see that this repository I have already cloned it in my Visual Studio Code, and I have some files here like user post. So in user post we have a create, index and loading card. So we are using here and design to build the UI. So we will not much write any code related to UI. Our main focus is performing all the CRUD operation with API using Redux Toolkit. So I will give a brief overview of this repository so that you don't have any issue. So as you can see that we have a router as well in my application. So if you go back to the app.js file, so we have a route where we can create the post, and we have a home route where we can fetch the post based on the ID, and we can perform the delete operation and the edit operation on the same page. And we have a separate page for creating the new post using the JSON placeholder fake API. So this is the our app.js file, and we have only two routes. And in index.js file, I'm wrapping the app with the browser router, and I have bring the and designed CSS file so that we can apply the and design styling for our React UI. And we have index page. So index page where you can see that some of the codes are commented, so you don't have to worry about that. I will explain it later as we progress in this video. So you can see that on index page we have a fetch user post and create user post. So if I go back to the application, this is the home page in which we have a fetch user post and create user post. So you can fetch the user post based on the ID. Okay, so you have to provide any random ID so that you will be able to fetch that post based on the ID. And if you click on the create user post, so you will navigate towards the create page. Okay, so you can see that route is changing in our browser URL. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code. So you can see that I have already written basic React UI code. Okay, so in this video we are not going to write much code related to the React. Our main focus is learning the concept of Redux Toolkit with API, how we can perform all the CRUD operation with the Redux Toolkit. And if you look at in my package.json file, so you can see that I have already installed the Redux Toolkit. Okay, and you don't have to install this Redux Toolkit, because if you have already cloned this repository, so it will be already there. Okay, you just have to do npm install, and all the library will get installed. Okay, so we have used Redux toolkit and designed React Redux and React Router DOM. Okay, so now let's start working on the Redux toolkit, and we have one create page as well, so in which we are creating the new post using the JSON placeholder fake API. So as you can see that some of the codes are commented. So this is nothing but once you create the post, we are displaying the post on the create page only. Okay, so this code is basically responsible for displaying the created post on the create page, and you will understand more once we implement that logic. Okay, so first we need to create a Redux folder under the source. So let's create that folder Redux. Okay, and after that we are going to have another folder features. Okay, and inside the Redux we are going to have a store as well. Okay, and inside feature we are going to have a slice. So we are dealing with the post in this video, so I am going to give here like post slice. Slice nothing but it's just like a reducer where we update the store. So it is a collection of the reducer logic and the action for a single feature in our application. In earlier we create a action file, reducer file, action type file, but with Redux toolkit we don't have to do all those things. We have to just create one file with the slice. Okay, so slice nothing but it's just a collection of the reducer logic. So let's configure the Redux toolkit now. So we need to bring create slice and the create async thing from our Redux toolkit. So from Redux toolkit we need create slice and create async thunk. Okay, so create slice and create async thunk. Okay, and first we are going to perform the fetch operation, means we have to get the post based on the ID. So first we are going to perform the read operation. So export const get post. Okay, so create async thunk basically is used to perform the asynchronous task. Okay, so it's accept three argument. So the first argument like action type, so you can give the action type like this way, post and get post. Okay, and the second argument will be the callback which will return the promise. Okay, it will be async. Okay, and it will be receive an ID from our component. Okay, and the third argument will be the object which is an optional. Okay, but we are not going to provide that one here. So here what we can do here, return fetch. So guys, here we are using fetch to make the API request. So guys, create async thunk generate three promise life cycle based on this action type. So the life cycles are like pending, fulfilled and rejected, and this life cycle we basically handle in the extra reducer that we will see later. Okay, so let's first work on this part. So we need to provide the URL here. So this URL we are going to need. So we are fetching the post based on the ID, so we are going to use this URL, and we can just copy this one and we can just paste it here. Remove this ID because ID we are going to get from our React UI component. Okay, and after that we are going to resolve this one, then we will get the response. Okay, so it will be in JSON, so we have to just do response.json. Okay, just do a format here. So we are done with this logic for getting the post based on the ID. So now we have to update the store logic using the create slice. So const post slice is equal to create slice. Okay, and create slice basically accept the initial state of application, then it will accept an object full of reducer function and a slice name, and then it automatically generate an action creator and action type that corresponding to the reducer and state. So that's why with Redux toolkit we don't have to create a separate file for action and the action type, because it's generate automatically everything for us. So that's why Redux toolkit is very cool. So first we have to provide the slice name here. So let's give the name here like post. Okay, since we are dealing with the post, so that's why I have given the slice name post. Now we have to define the initial state. So let's define the initial state of our application. So post, and I am going to define here as empty array. Loading will be the false. Okay, we can have error, that will be the null initially. Okay, and we will be adding more initial state for other operations. So for now just leave as it is. Okay, now this create async thunk generated 3 life cycle, that is a pending, fulfilled and reject. And guys, these 3 life cycle are going to evaluate in the extra reducer. Okay, so we have to define this extra reducer where we can make our desired change to the store. So we can have like get post dot pending. Okay, so it will having a state and the action, and after that we have to just do like state dot loading is equal to true. Okay, now if it's resolved, that means get post dot get fulfilled. Then in this case what we are going to do, so we are just going to do state dot loading set to false. Okay, and state dot post is equal to action dot payload. So I'm just going to put the action dot payload in like this way. Okay, because if you're fetching the post based on the ID, so you will get the post in the object only, and we are storing this object in the array, so that this array will only have a single array of object, because we are getting the post based on the ID, so it will be always having the single array of object. Okay, and in case if rejected, then we have to define like get post dot rejected. Okay, so state action and state dot loading is equal to false, and state dot error is equal to action dot payload. So we will get some error from our API if we have some issue with the API. So we are going to store those error in the error state. Okay, so here we have to put the semicolon. Okay, okay, so we are done with the first operation for now, that is getting the post based on the ID. Now we have to export this one, export default post slice dot reducer. Okay, and we have to configure the store as well. So we need to bring the configure store from our Redux toolkit. Okay, so store configuration is also a very easy with the Redux toolkit. Earlier we have to write some more line of code with the normal Redux, but with Redux toolkit we have to write very less code to configure the store. Now we have to bring this reducer. Okay, so we can bring like this way, post reducer from feature, and we have a post slice, and we are going to export default configure store, and here we need to define the reducer, and we are going to give the app. Okay, so we are going to access the state from the store using the key app in our component. Okay, so I have assigned the name here app, so that with the help of this app we are going to access the state in our React component. Now we need to adjust some code here as well in our index.js file. So in index.js file, first we need to bring the store. So import store from Redux store. Okay, and we need provider from React Redux, so that way application can access the state from the store. So we have to provide the store to our application. So provider, okay, and inside that we are just going to cut this one and paste it here, and we can provide the store to our application this way. Okay, so we are done with this basic configuration. So we have configured the Redux toolkit in our application. So guys, we can verify whether Redux toolkit got configured in our application or not. So we can verify in this Redux DevTool. So I have already installed this Redux DevTool extension in my Chrome browser. So we can verify whether we have successfully able to configure the Redux toolkit or not. So you can see that after clicking on state, we have got this initial state in our application. So we have initial state in our application like post, loading, error. So these are all the initial state for our React application. So you guys, you can install this Redux DevTool extension in your Chrome so that you can view this state. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code. So guys, this is the overall logic to get the post from the JSON placeholder fake API. And one more thing guys, you don't have to install the Redux Thunk with Redux toolkit. It's come by default in our Redux toolkit. So you don't have to install Redux Thunk in the Redux toolkit, because create async thunk allow us to perform all kind of asynchronous tasks. So we are done with this get post based on the ID. Now we have to work on our UI part. So once user provide any ID, and if you click on H user post, then he will get the post based on that ID. So we have to adjust some logic in our UI. So we have to go back to the index.js file. So here you can see that we have one input field and a button fetch user post, and we have an on click method that is a fetch user post. So you can ignore this one for now, because we are going to dispatch the get post here. And on change input we are storing the ID. So whatever you are going to provide the ID, we are going to set that ID in on change input method. So we have to dispatch this ID with our action. And if you don't provide any ID, so I'm just throwing simple alert like please enter ID. So we have to bring couple of things from our React Redux, that is use selector and use dispatch. So use selector for accessing the state from our store, and use dispatch is used to dispatch an Redux action. So first we need to store the reference of use dispatch into the dispatch variable. So let's store that reference of use dispatch into a dispatch variable, so that we can dispatch a Redux action in fetch user post method. And we have to also need to bring the get post action from our post slice file. So it is present inside Redux feature. Okay, So now we have to dispatch this get post in our fetch user post function. So we can dispatch like this way, dispatch get post, and we can pass the id like object, and this id is stored here. Okay, so in set id we have id. Okay, and we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's refresh this application, and let's keep open the Redux DevTool as well, and let's give some random id. So I'm giving to click on fetch user post, go back to the DevTool. So you can see that our action got fulfilled here, and we have got that post for the user id 2. So you can see that for user id 2 we have this post with title and body. So now we have to display this post in our home page. Okay, so we have to do some couple of adjustment in our React code. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code, and here first what we have to do. So first we need to extract the state from the store using the use selector that we have defined in post slice. For that we can use selector state, and state we have to spread out the state, and we can access the state using the app key. So state.app, because we have defined the store with the key app. So in store.js file you can see that post reducer is registered with the app key. So with the help of app key we can access the state which we have in our store. Okay, and all the initial state we have defined in post slice. So for now we are going to fetch the loading and post, and post will have the single array of object which we are displaying here. So I'm just going to uncomment this all part here. So let me do uncomment this one. So here we have a post, so we have to do this little bit adjustment. So it will always having the single array of object based on the id, because we are only fetching the single post based on the id. So let's do this small adjustment. So this will be the loading, guys. Okay, so if loading is true, then I am showing the skeleton loader. So this is the skeleton loader which I am showing while fetching the post. So if the promise is not resolved, so it will show the loading until it gets resolved. So once it's resolved, we will get the post as a single array of object. So that's why I am displaying the title as a post 0.title, because this array will only hold a single array of object based on the id. So don't get confused, guys, here. Okay, so that's why I am accessing the title body this way, because it will always having the single array of object. So we can verify this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the browser. So refresh this one. Edit is not defined. So let's define the edit state as well in our post slice. This edit will be useful once we implement the update logic in this application. So let's just define the edit state as a false for now. We will use later once we implement the update operation. So let's go into the browser, refresh this one. Let's give some random id and click on fetch user post. You can see that we have got this user post based on the id. So we have a title and body, and we have a two button, delete and edit button. So we have performed the read operation with the help of Redux toolkits. Now it's time to perform the delete operation. So I'm going to delete this post as well. So first we have to define the logic in post slice for deleting the single user post. So we have to define the logic here. So I'm just going to copy paste this one, and I'm just going to change the action. So this will be the delete post, and the action type will be also delete post, and we are going to delete the post based on the id. So the url will be the as it is, only we have to provide one method since we are using fetch. So we have to provide this method here. So method will be the delete. Okay, only this much change required. So this way we can able to delete the user post, and we have to again define all the three promise life cycle, that is pending, fulfilled and rejected, for the delete post as well. So I'm just going to copy again, and I'm just going to paste it. Okay, and once it's got deleted, it will return the empty object. Okay, so the once it got fulfilled means single user post got deleted successfully. So after resolving, it will result the empty object. Okay, so I'm just going to put the action dot payload in the state dot post for fulfilled state. So I think we are done with this logic for deleting the post in our post slide, and we have to adjust some React code in our index.js file. So you can see that we have a delete button here at the bottom. So here we have to provide the ID. So in order to delete the single user post, first we have to bring the delete post action from our slice, and this is the delete button in which we are going to provide one on click method. So in on click method, once user click on the delete button, so we are going to dispatch the delete post action with the ID. So let's define this callback. Okay, so and we can dispatch delete post. So ID we are going to access, so ID we will having in our single array of object, so we can access the ID this way because it will always present as a zeroth index. So it will be like post 0 dot id. So we are passing the id to our action and it will receive the id here. Okay, and we can pass this id in the url. And guys, don't forget to update this three promise life cycle for delete post. So for delete post, it will be the delete post, not get post. So you have to change this one. So let's make sure to update this one and let's fetch the post. So I just give some random id and click on the fetch user post. So we have got this post based on the user id 5, and let's click on delete. So you can see that our post got deleted successfully from our home page. You can also verify this one in Redux DevTool. You can see that our delete post got fulfilled now, and you can see that now we have an empty object because it returned the empty object once you delete the single user post. And if you go back to the code, so if you look at our index.js file, so here we are checking the length because the post will always having the single array of object. So once we delete the post, we got the empty object. So we are checking the length as well here to display the post on our React application. So this condition is not going to satisfy once you delete the single user post. So we have performed the delete operation. So now the next operation we are going to perform the create operation. So user can also create the single user post, and update operation we will perform it because it's little bit complex. So let's perform the create operation with the help of Redux toolkit. So we have a two input field, that is title and body. So user can create a single user post with title and body. So let's do that one. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code. So in order to create the post, so first we have to create this action. So I'm just going to copy this line of code and I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm just going to update this action. So this will be the create post, and we have to also update the action type. So this will be the create post, and this time we are not going to pass the id because we are posting the single post. So we will receive the values from our React UI component, which will contain the title and body, and the method will be the post here. And we have to also add some additional stuff to handle the post request. So we have to provide the header. So this will accept the application JSON slash JSON. We have to also define the content type. So let's define the content type as well, and this will be also application slash JSON. And we have to provide the body as well. So let's provide the body as well. So this will be in JSON.stringify, and we are going to provide the body title. So title we can provide like this way: title values.title, that we will be getting from our React UI component, and for body it will be having like values.body. Okay, and here again we have to create the three promise life cycle for create post as well. So we are done with the create post action logic. So now we have to handle the three promise life cycle for the create post in our extra reducer. So again I'm just going to copy this three life cycle for delete post, and I'm just going to paste it here, and we have to update this one from delete post to create post. So let's update the create post for 3 life cycle, that is pending, fulfilled and rejected for create post as well. And in case of fulfilled, it will be again in the array. So that's why, so this way we will store the single array of object in array. So in that way it will become the single array of object. Okay, so let's go back to the create.js file. We have to adjust some code here as well. So as you can see that we have some commented code here. So I'm just going to copy this 2 line of code from index.js file, because we again need the action and the use selector and use dispatch in our create.js file as well. So in action we need only create post. Okay, and also, and let's just uncomment this one, this state, and let's uncomment this show post block as well, because this is the responsible for displaying the block once user create the single user post. Okay, so you can see that we have a 2 input field for creating the single user post based on the title and body. So we have a title and body for creating the single user post. Okay, and we are setting the value into the set value. Okay, in a values state we have a title and body, and in handle submit, once user submit the form, so we are inputting the each input field after submitting the form successfully, as you can see that in our handle submit function. Okay, so here we have to first dispatch the action with the values. Okay, then we can empty the each input field. So let's first dispatch this one, and before dispatch we have to store the reference of use dispatch into a dispatch variable. Okay, so first let's store the reference of use dispatch into a dispatch variable, and we have to also need to access the store state with the help of use selector. So again I'm going to use here use selector to extract the state from our store that we have defined in our post/.js file. So we can access again the state like spreading out the state dot app, because our reducer is registered with the app key, and we can extract the state like post and loading. And now we can dispatch the action with the values, and values which hold the title and the body. So it's hold the information about the title and body, and we can dispatch the create post, and we can just pass this values. Okay, and we have to also do some small adjustment at the below. So you can see that we have to make the head show post true. So this way we can able to show the created single user post to our user, and you have to uncomment this line of code as well. So we are done with this create single user post logic. So let's go back to the browser and see whether it's working or not. So let's refresh this application, and let's keep title like Redux Toolkit. Okay, and let's give the body like understand Redux Toolkit using API. So I have just pasted here. Let's click on submit. So you can see that our single user post got successfully created with the title Redux Toolkit and the body understand Redux Toolkit API with random user ID 101. So this random user ID is given by our JSON placeholder fake API. So we are using this post API, which basically returns some random ID. Okay, so we have successfully performed the create operation with the help of Redux Toolkit. So now it's time to perform the update operation with the help of Redux Toolkit in our application. So update operation, what will happen in update operation? So you fetch the user post based on the ID, and if user click on the edit button, so whatever the value we have in our body for the single user post, so first we have to populate this body value into the text area. So first we have to define the edit mode. Okay, so once user click on the edit mode, so this will be converted into the text area, and whatever the value we have for our single user post, it will be the display the value into the text area. So first we have to define the separate action. Okay, to enable the edit mode. So this way we will update the existing single user post. So first let's go back to the post slice.js file, and here first we are going to define one initial state, that is body, and this will be the empty. So basically this body will hold the value of single user post. Okay, so we have in single user post we have a title and body, so we are only updating the value of body of single user post. So we have to define one separate action, so we can define the action in the reducer. Okay, so reducer, and inside that we are going to have the set edit action. Okay, so set edit, and it will having the function with like state and action. Inside that we are going to do like state.edit is equal to action.payload.edit. So we are going to receive this edit from our UI component. Okay, and the same thing goes for body as well. So state.body is equal to action.payload.body. So this will be also we are going to receive from our UI component. Okay, and we have to export this head edit function. So we have to write one export statement at the bottom, so we can export this separate action like this way. So export const, we can destructure here like post slice dot action, and we have the action like set edit. Okay, now we can dispatch this set edit from our UI component. So we are processing for updating the single user post step by step. So first we are going to populate the existing body value of single user post into the text area. Okay, so where we have edit button, so here you can see that if we are in edit mode, so we have a text area in which we are displaying the existing body value of the single user post. So we have to bring the body state from our store. So here you can see that in the text area we have a body text in which we are populating the existing body value of single user post. So whenever user update the body value of single user post, so we are keeping the track of updated body value of single user post in the set body text. Okay, so it will having the updated body value of single user post. And guys, here we have a edit button. So once user click on the edit button, so we have to enable the edit mode for updating the single user post, so we can dispatch the action here. Okay, so we can pass this callback function with the dispatch set edit. So VS Code automatically import this head edit for me, and you can also verify at the top whether it's imported or not. So you can see that it's imported correctly from our Redux feature folder, and we can pass the object here with edit mode. So this time we are going to set the true. Okay, and we have to pass the body. So we can pass the body like this way, because post contains the single array of objects, so we can access the body at the 0th index, and we can pass this body. Okay, so guys, now we have to write one use effect logic in order to populate the existing body value of single user post into the text area. So we have to write this use effect, and this use effect only runs if we have the value in the body. Okay, so here we can set the body text. Okay, so set body text, and we can pass the body. So this way we can populate the whatever the value we have in the body for the single user post in the text area. So we can populate the value of body into the text area for single user post with the help of this use effect logic. So for now we are done with this edit mode logic, and we can verify this one whether it's working or not in browser. And one more thing guys, if user doesn't update the value of body and he just click on the cancel button, then in that case I wanted to get out of the edit mode. So in that case we can pass the value of edit as a false. Okay, so this will basically let you to come out from the edit mode. So let's refresh this application, and let's fetch the user post based on the ID. So let's click on fetch user post. We have got this ID. Let's click on edit button. So you can see that this body is now get converted into the text area, and we have got this existing value whatever we have the body value for this user ID. Okay, so now we have to update the existing value of this single user post. Okay, so we have to write the logic in our post slice.js file. Okay, and if you doesn't click on save and if you just click on cancel, so it won't change the value. Okay, so like if you have the update and if you just click the cancel, so you will get back your old value. Okay, so this is also working now because we basically got out from the edit mode. So guys, let's write the logic for updating the existing single user post in our post slice.js file. So here what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to copy this entire line of code for creating the post, and I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm just going to update this one. So this will be the update post, action type will be the update post, and we are going to receive id, body, title like this way from our UI component. Okay, and this will be the method will be the update. Okay, and we are going to pass the title. Okay, since here body and title are the same, so we can pass the title and body like this way. Okay, and we have to provide the id here, and we have to update the post based on the id. Okay, so we have to provide the id here as well in URL. Okay, and guys, in the json.stringify, I don't think we have to provide the id, so we can remove the id from json.stringify. So let's remove the id from our body. Okay, while making the update request, and we have to also rename this create post to update post. So let's make sure to update this one. Again, we have to evaluate this 3 promise lifecycle for update post as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste it here for create post, and don't forget to update this one from create post to update post. So let's rename this one to update post, and this all thing will be stay as it is. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the update post logic here. Okay, in our post slide.js file. Now we have to do some small adjustment in our index.js file. So let's go back to the index.js file, and we have to dispatch an action when user click on the save button. So we can dispatch an action here. So we have to provide one on click method here, and we have to dispatch here action update post. Okay, so we can pass the id like this way, post 0.id, because again we have the post in the single array of object. So again here we can access the id like this way, post 0.id, because post contain the single array of object, so we can access the id at the 0th index. And for body, we have a body text because we are storing the updated body value into the body text. As you can see that we have a set body text in the for the text area, so we have to provide the body text in the body. And for title, we can just access the title like post 0.title. And we have to also dispatch one more action, because once user click on the save button, so we have to also basically disable the edit mode as well. Okay, so we have to dispatch one more action like hit edit. Okay, and here actually we have to provide the update post actually. So we haven't bring the update post from our Redux feature folder. So let's bring the update post and dispatch the update post here. Okay, so this will be the update post, and now we have formatted this one. Now it's looking little bit nice. So now it's time to dispatch another action to basically disable the edit mode. So I'm just going to copy this line of code and paste it there. So let's paste it here, and this time edit will be the false and the body will be the empty. And we have to do some small adjustment because we are dispatching more than one action in the on click method, so we have to wrap it into the curly bracket. Okay, so let's refresh this one, and let's give the 5 here. Okay, and let's click on edit. So we have got this. So we are successfully able to populate the existing value into the text area, and now I have updated the value. So this is not working. Okay, so our promise got rejected here. So some silly mistake might I have done. So let's go back to the postslide.js file, and this will be the put. Okay, not update. So this is silly mistake that I have done here. So now save this file, and we can again verify this in browser. So let's go back to the browser and refresh this one and hash the post based on some random user ID, and let's click on edit, and let's update this body value. Okay, and let's click on the save. So now you can see that we are able to perform the update operation with this Redux toolkit using the JSON placeholder Hake API. So you can see that value got updated successfully in our user post. So but if you refresh this application, you will lose all the data because this JSON placeholder Hake API doesn't maintain any kind of database behind the scene. So whatever you are performing the operation like create, read, update, delete, it doesn't update anything in database because it doesn't maintain any kind of database behind the scene. So I hope you might aware of those things. Okay, so we have performed all CRUD operation with the help of Redux toolkit in this React application. So let's perform all operation again one by one. So let's perform the read operation. So let's fetch the user post. So we are able to fetch the user post. We have got this post based on the user ID, and we are also able to see into the Redux DevTool as well. And let's click on delete. So we are also able to perform the delete operation. Okay, so let's perform now update operation. So let's again fetch the post based on the id5, and let's click on edit, and let's update this body value of single user post. Okay, so and now let's click on save. So now we are also able to perform the update operation. Our body value got updated successfully. Okay, now let's create the single user post. Okay, so let's give the title like Redux toolkit, and let's give the body understand Redux toolkit using API. Let's click on submit. You can also see that we have successfully able to create a single user post with title Redux toolkit and the body understand Redux toolkit using API, and we have got this random user ID which is given by the JSON placeholder Hake API. Okay, so we have performed all CRUD operation with the help of Redux toolkit with the help of API. So, and I hope you have learned the concept of Redux toolkit in a React application, how you can perform all the asynchronous tasks with the create async thing in your React application. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you find out this video is useful, so you can share this video with your friends and colleagues. If you find out that video is useful, and if you wanted to get more videos on the concept of React and Redux, then you can subscribe this channel. So that's it from this video. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Bye bye and take care.